I gotta check Mix Max.
Okay.
Mix
Mix
maximum.
Max Snick Snacks.
Neckex.
No, he's not here.
Kaboomber.
Not
Kaboom.
not going back yet.
I think we're live. I think
Mixer,
we're live.
yes.
We're live. Are we live? We are live.
Yes, we should be live, both on
All right.
Mixer and on Twitch.
That's wonderful.
At the same damn time.
At the same
At the same damn time.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fall As They May, our 30th episode. That's special because it's... And everything that's a multiple of 10 is special for some reason.
Are you saying it's not?
Just like, ask the Brits.
Before we get into tonight's game, I want to say thank you to Chris, who took over as Dungeon Master last week. Thank you for running a game when I was unable to.
It was a shit show. I loved it.
We enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I guess that's really all I had to say before we got into tonight's episode. So, last we left off, the favored few, with the aid of the Sanguine Empire, utilized their teleportation circle to make their way to Esrayl's hometown, or at least the town that she resided in for many years. Upon arriving, they found that most of the town was littered with different corpses of both Rome members and refugees alike. As they made their way through, they started hearing cries for help that came from a different part of the city, and upon arriving, found 3 Rome members in combat with more of these gelatinous-looking creatures. These ones more dog-like, with extended necks and massive maws with sharp rows of teeth, that emitted this strange howl that locked up one of the party members for quite a while. But he managed to eventually break free, and working together, they managed to fell these creatures and capture the Rome member. They were quickly afterwards found by acolytes of Denir, who brought them to Esrayl's temple, where upon arriving, Esrayle encountered someone from her past. He presumably there to make some sort of deal with the Grand Cleric. Not much in the way of confrontation came afterwards, as with seemingly a flick of the drow's wrist, he managed to push aside most of the party and make his way out. The Grand Cleric came, comforted Esrayle, and addressed the party, welcoming them to what was left of the temple. They spent the night, talked with the Grand Cleric about the mission that they had been going on and these artifacts that they had been seeking. Grand Cleric, through use of his divination, managed to ask Denir to where the next location of these items might be, which led them into the Underdark. The Grand Cleric had just finished giving them instructions and alerting them as to what they needed to look out for when they went down there. And that is where we left off. So as you guys finish, apologies.
Forgive me, DM. That is not exactly where we left off. Where we left off was we were getting ready to go. Flinar was going to have a nice conversation with Esrayles that Esrayles apparently is ready for.
All right. Well, either way, before you guys head off, Zanav says that he addresses all of you and says, so before you leave, I would like to extend a small courtesy. I can grant some of you a ward in case you run into something down there that manages to fell you, if any of you would be interested.
Is there a limited number of us that can receive this ward?
I can do it two times today.
I would be interested in one of them.
Very well. It only lasts about 8 hours, but for at least the first part of your journey, it should aid you to quite a good extent. And he will come over to you, Aster, kind of with one hand, grabs his with his one arm, grabs his holy symbol for a moment, and as he releases it, you see this crackling of divine energy in his hand as he makes a few motions over you and mutters a quick prayer. You see a flash of energy and this glyph appear in front of Aster for a moment before fading, leaving this very, very dull glow against his body. You have Death Ward on you for 8 hours.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Give it the punchy.
He looks at Hugo.
Sorry, punchy?
He will take a moment, kind of once again grab his holy symbol and concentrate, and as he pulls it away, that same crackling of divine energy, he recites a quick prayer against Yugu, and that same kind of glyph appears momentarily in front of you, leaving this dull glow against your form. You also have Death Ward for 8 hours.
Cool.
So Death Ward is if you would ever get knocked to 0 hit points, you instead are dropped to 1. And that lasts, it's a one-time thing. So once it's used, it's gone. And yeah, Flinar and Esrayles, go ahead.
Well,
How bad?
I'm sorry.
How bad do you want your artifact?
We need it.
I didn't ask if you needed it. I asked how bad do you need it? Is it bad enough that I can trust you on the battlefield if shit goes down?
Can I
Can't-
trust you on the battlefield? You conked out for a long time there.
I give my best efforts in every single fight that I go into.
That's apparent.
And you? Mask?
Of course, I always give my best to a
I'm
fight.
not talking to you!
And who are you talking to?
To you. As of right now, you're going to be the one that's taking over leadership in this situation. Because this is your hometown, this is your duty, and more importantly, the reason why we're going down is because that's where you used to reside. However, I must warn you, as of right now, you've already completed, at least I've completed, my task for the Empire, regardless about whether or not this is a boon for the Empire or not. So in essence, I believe I am already done. But it's clear it's important to you, and it's clear it's important to your group. So, since we made this situation clear, and you need a way in order to trust me, fuck, I hate doing this. I'm gonna go ahead and take out my short sword.
All right.
By my hand, I bring forth a vow of loyalty to never be dissuaded. It will last until our task is done. This is a testament to the Banian name and to my family lineage. With this sword, I open my hand to spill the blood that courses through me, declaring myself still vulnerable while I am alone. And I will go ahead and take the short sword and run it through my hand.
Okay. What's your dexterity modifier?
Excellent question. My dexterity modifier is a 5.
Okay, go ahead and take 6 points of slashing damage.
Nice indeed. Just how I want it. Your
You
hand,
know,
Nick.
I did ask you to do that.
But we're not done yet. Your hand.
My hand.
Bring me your
Already
hand.
got enough scars on there, thank you.
If you want me to fully trust you, you give me your hand.
I'm just gonna look at him for a few seconds. Until I take off my glove and I hold on my hand.
I'll put the unbleeding hand under hers. Take the sword into my already cut hand.
Mm-hmm.
By the hand offered, it affirms a trust in my word and in my actions. Should I break this trust, may the spirits of both of our respected families come and forever curse my name and body until the day of my death, where my soul will be ripped asunder. With this sword, I open this hand to spill its blood, confirming this trust in all that I am, and declaring that while they are alone, so too they are vulnerable. And I will go ahead and cut into her hand.
You let him do this?
Yeah.
Alright. You're gonna go ahead and take 8 points of slashing damage, Esrayles.
And if I don't have a family?
There's always families. Now shut up. This is the last piece, and I need to remember exactly what it is. As this last portion, I'm gonna go ahead and speak in Elven.
Okay. Who here speaks Elvish?
Well, me, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody but Aster.
Alright, so everybody but Aster will understand what is being said. Aster, you just hear a bunch of gibberish.
And with this press of our hands, as the blood we spill pours into each other, as I go ahead and grab my cut hand into hers,
Okay.
I say the Banian family mantra to complete this vow. Together we survive, for loyalty is everything.
I just realized I said something.
And I will go ahead and let go.
Alright.
If I had a family mantra, I'm sure it wouldn't be as interesting as that one.
It's a mantra, specifically this ritual. It's a ritual of trust meant to be brought between two families, bringing them together. And as of right now, the task is making sure we go ahead and get that artifact. And once it's done, our contract is over. We head back to the Empire. No ifs, ands, or buts.
That's
Are we clear?
fine by me.
Or boots.
Alright. Very well. You'll have no quarrel over me. Whenever you're ready, I'll go.
I'm ready. Is everyone else ready?
Always ready.
The Grand Cleric will come up and say, I understand the necessity of it. Perhaps not the best to go into the Underdark injured, and he'll grab onto both of your hands, and he'll heal both of you.
Thank you, Grand Cleric.
Esrayles, you're gonna go ahead. Yeah, you heal all your hit points. Flinar, you heal all your hit points. And the wounds and the cuts on both your hands seal.
Take head,
Very
team
much
leader.
appreciated.
I am very welcome.
Now, everyone,
Remember what I told you, and be safe. May Daenerys watch over all of you.
may Daenerys watch over you as well.
And he'll break away from the group as you guys make your way outside.
Actually, I'm going to make sure that everyone's outside before I go ahead and say one last thing inside this temple.
Sure. So everyone else will head out.
Don't worry. I'll protect your girl. And then I'll head out.
He just kind of gives a sigh as you leave. Ow. Ow.
What'd you do?
Are you okay?
No, I'm
You good, fam?
No. Time out. Intermission.
Uh-oh.
Ow.
The DM is dead. Long live the DM.
Ah.
Long
Don't-
lives Nakax.
No, my fucking foot cramped.
Oh, no.
Shout out to my internet connection for being unstable.
Yay.
While our DM goes ahead and recovers from his foot cramp.
Okay, I'm alright.
No. We need to make sure we get this out. We need to make sure that people understand that D&D Beyond, we're making
It's
sure
a
that's
website.
absolutely clear. It is
It's
a
a-
website you can go into. You can log on. You can make an account for free.
We're not sponsored by D&D Beyond. Shut up.
I am making sure that they understand that it could
We're
be
not
done.
sponsored by D&D Beyond. Shut up. Although D&D Beyond, if you're Although, God, if you're looking for some mediocre streamer, for a mediocre stream to sponsor,
It's very promiscuous that you say that we're mediocre.
And as you all know, Gaia Online was a website that was
Oh my god!
2008.
all right, let's get back into it. My foot feels better.
Oh, where did Lukey?
Rip Luke.
Go?
All right, Luke will return shortly.
Sure.
All right. So, you all make your way to the outside of the temple. Not too far off from it, you can see what looks to be a partially collapsed tunnel, an actual mound in the earth that forms up, and a bit of the dirt on the inside seems to have fallen in. Although it doesn't take away from the very clear sight of the gradual decline that it takes down into the earth. You can see that there are what once could have been these grand flags standing next to them now, ripped, burned, and one of them is splintered completely and fallen to the ground. And that appears to be the entrance to the Underdark that the Grand Cleric told you about. Making your way into the tunnel itself, immediately what becomes clear to you is just how claustrophobic it is to walk in. You find yourselves hard-pressed to try to even stand in these tunnels as you make your way through, as each of your heads almost start scraping against the top, breaking off bits of loose dirt and rubble that gradually begin to fall on the path you take. After about 500 feet, the tunnel begins to widen just enough to give you a berth to stand in. However, you are still single file as you make your way through this tunnel. May I have a marching order, please?
I would like to be up front.
Second to last.
Yeah.
Behind Flinar.
Okay, so Esrayl's last then?
I guess I'll just. Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
We have that guy with us still, I believe.
Roman? I mean, you guys
Or
didn't
did we, I don't know if we did.
That I was gonna ask that question. Should we just leave him at the temple so we can pick him up when we come back?
It's your call.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I want him being there. I don't think he's gonna do anything, but I don't want him to. I don't want everyone else to have to deal with that decision that we made.
All right. So you guys are deciding to leave.
Could we have left and then kicked him out and just let him be?
You want to let him go on his own?
I would absolutely refuse to not let him go. He needs to be brought back to the Empire. We need information out of him. As much as he can possibly give us, even if he says that he doesn't know nothing, we can still get something.
Yep. I am not letting him go. He knows he knows the artifact is down here too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The Grand Cleric's
He's gonna betray us.
The Grand Cleric's willing to watch him if you want him to stay.
Yeah.
I guess if he's that scared, I'm not as freaked out about it. You just let him be there.
Okay, so you're gonna just let him stay there?
Yeah.
All right. So.
Very quickly, DM, I'm gonna go ahead and just ask this question right away.
Sure.
I'm trying to find it right now because it's one of the Ranger's abilities, but can I spend a minute to get myself coded in whatever the environment is right now?
You're talking about hide in plain sight?
Not hide in plain sight. It's one of the things that Rangers do. Hold on a minute. I gotta find it.
I was gonna say, if it's hide in plain sight, then that's gonna break the second you move.
Yep.
No, that's not. That's Mask of the Wild. That's something else and different. Okay, never mind. I don't know where it is, but
okay.
You might. That might be what you're referring to. I'll double check again.
It is if you have access to like fresh mud and whatever.
If you have access to fresh mud or like twigs or loose grass, you can you can basically give your party a bonus to stealth if they hold stealth.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So never mind. Instead of, I'm gonna go ahead and ask the party leader if it'd be appropriate if I can go ahead and scout ahead. Alone.
Alone. Why alone?
If there's anyone else watching, they only suspect that there's only one individual. He's a target. But I tend to be very quiet on my feet. And I also have some pretty keen eyes, so... Still your call.
Fine. Do as you please.
Alright then.
Okay. So Flinar, if you're gonna go off ahead, I'd like you to give me a stealth check.
Yeah, there it is. Hide in plain sight. Just found it. Alright. Back to business. Stealth.
Alright. So, pressing on for another 10 minutes or so, the tunnel begins to widen to a berth of about a 10 by 10 foot entryway. You can see that in this area, the chasm ceases to break off. More immediately to the left, as you enter into the main chasm, there's a tunnel that breaks off to the left. A bit further down the tunnel, there is one that breaks off to the right. And as you glance around, you can see that there are two other tunnels in this area. One of them that breaks off about to the northeast, and one that seems to go straight, and then, from what you can tell, dips for just a moment before shooting straight up.
Said took the bisect path 800 feet right path. So, it just to be very clear, when we say bisect path, that means that there's a single path that goes two ways. Like
There's a single path that goes two ways.
And then there are just the two other bits.
There's a path that breaks left, a path that breaks right, a path that breaks to the northeast, and then one that is directly north of you that goes down a little bit and then shoots upward.
Alright, I'm gonna be careful in my approach, but I'm gonna make sure that I get to that path where it forks to left and right.
Okay, which tunnel are you going in?
It says it's a bisect path, if I recall.
That is what he told you. He said that He said that this path that you were just walking on leads to an entryway where there is a bisected path.
And he said to take.
There's a lot of noise coming from somebody's thing.
And he said take the right path.
He said take the right path.
So, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to stand at the right path and then whistle quietly if I can for the group to form up.
Let's have him make another stealth check. Okay, what is that noise? Everyone hears that, right?
Yeah,
I'm not, so it might be on my end. Hang on, let me talk to her.
Like a Oh,
I was gonna say it stopped now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so-
Luke.
so
it
it
has
was
to be
Luke.
Luke.
it was Luke.
I
Oh.
was like, he's fucking having a dance party over there.
All right, so
Wait, hold on. Why did it say everything died? Oh wait, no, that's from Luke. Okay, something must have happened.
No, you're good. You're good. We're good.
Well,
all
that's.
right, so
I need to check on my end though. That's a catch. Yeah,
oh, did the stream die?
I don't know. The last thing I see in chat is Dab Olympic saying, "Whoops, everyone died. Everything died."
Oh, that's Luke. No, that's Luke.
I know it's Luke. That's why I need to make sure.
Luke's back.
Yeah, my fucking internet cut out for a second, but everything's cool now. I hope.
Okay.
I hope.
Thank God. I thought you were talking about the stream. Anyway, continue.
No.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a stealth check again.
All right.
Give me one more stealth check to see just how quietly you can actually whistle.
All right.
Okay. All right. So you give a very quick whistle, and the rest of you hear this a little ways down that same path.
Oh, Rick.
Is he in the?
He's trying to click the link from like a week and a half or like
Send
2
him
weeks
the link.
I did.
Alright.
Did.
All right, cool. Oh, that's why I got an email that said your meeting attendants are waiting. All right. So I will say for the sake of this, you guys will hear the footfalls of the lock that come behind you down the path. So you guys will hear a quick whistle from Flinar. Do you choose to go forward?
I do. Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So all of you push on forward, and as you enter into this area, Esrayles, this area strikes a note with you as being the area that you would come through when Zinav had brought you to the surface before. However, there are two other tunnels in this area now that were not there before.
would I know which way to go? Since I mean, he told me
It's the
this, but
rightmost.
if there's spectre colors.
The rightmost path is what. The last time you came here, you know that you and him came out of the leftmost path, but you know that he told you to go to the rightmost path. However, just something that strikes you as odd is the fact that there are two other paths here that were not here before.
Well, we follow what the Grand Cleric says. To the rightmost.
Alright, moving up ahead.
Okay, so you guys will push your way into the rightmost path. You're taking point again, Flinar. Go ahead and give me another stealth check.
Got it.
Okay. For the rest of you, if you guys are also trying to be quiet, go ahead and give me stealth checks. So Rick is here. I just can't hear him.
Oh, I forgot to mention I'm rolling on.
No, I have a pounding headache.
Oh, I got you. Man. Why don't you? If it hurts, why don't you go rest? It's okay.
Yeah, I'm fine for right now.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for these ibuprofen to kick in.
Gotcha.
Just take the Vicodin.
I have
that's
Percocet too. I just haven't took one. I think I'm
alright.
bad.
So we've got Esrayles and Goo.
I kind of cut into Rick. I'm rolling IRL. I got a 20.
Okay. All right. So you guys begin pushing your way along. Unfortunately, while Esrayle and Goo, you guys are kind of keeping pretty well off, kind of trying to keep yourselves quiet. The heavy footfalls of Valak that come behind do not really lend well, at least in this scenario, to a stealthy mission. And even more so to the point that his foot accidentally stamps onto Astra's cloak, nearly taking him down in the process as Astra tries to step away.
What was that for?
You weren't moving fast enough.
However, as you guys begin pushing your way through the tunnel, Flinar, you begin hearing, as you guys go about another 20-25 minutes down the tunnel, you begin to hear a subtle burbling ahead of you. This very start.
Fist up the halt.
Okay, so Flinar puts his hand up. Do you all stop?
Yep.
All right, so you cease your movement.
Bubbling leg. Don't touch your tick. That means making sure your feet don't hit what I assume to be hot water.
There's no way that's water.
I don't think so.
Regardless.
Has to be something more sinister than that.
Regardless of being sinister or not, we're making sure that we're keeping away from that shit. So everyone, light feet. I especially look over at the big man. Light feet.
You're gonna get what you get.
Move forward.
All right. Pushing on for about another 80 feet. You guys come into a massive chasm. Now, as you enter, immediately the sound of the burbling gets stronger as almost directly to the left of the entrance is a huge lake of this darkened black liquid. You see occasional gas bubbles that come to the surface and detonate. And when I say detonate, they actually explode with a force as they come out. Not enough to splash any of you, but enough to leave quite a big burst as they come out of the ground.
Can I use my parasol to try and protect everyone from it?
Parasol's not that big. I would say you can protect you and one other person.
I have another question. They're bursting, obviously. Are these loud bursts?
They make
visible?
And then a poop, poop, poop. It's nothing.
Okay, so it's the visual rather than the noise.
It's the visual rather than the noise. Yes.
I guess I'll protect myself and Goo from that.
Okay, so you kind of position yourself next to Goo and have the parasol out towards the lake. Getting a better look across it, you notice a series of different figures and different skeletons that line the water, that line this tar-like substance. You see what appears to be humanoid, monstrous, and even the carcass of what appears to be a few insectoid-like creatures that are just barely keeping the bodies are just barely keeping themselves above the actual surface of this tar. What immediately becomes apparent to you, besides the lake that you pressed upon, is the narrow walkway that you have in front of you to move around it. As it seems like with each of these burbles, the lake almost seems to expand for a moment before receding back, almost like the tide coming in for a moment and receding. Another thing that catches you is, besides the sound of the lake itself, just how quiet it is. You hear no stone moving, no animals around you. What would you like to do?
Light feet. And this shit certainly isn't water.
Alright. So as said, it is a narrow pathway. So who's going first? It is a crest around the lake to what you can see just barely at the edge of your vision. This entryway to another chasm at the far side is about 180 feet to that chasm.
Let's see. What's the party order at the moment?
The party order at the moment is Flinar, followed by, I believe it was Gu, followed by Aster, then Esrayles, and then Valak.
That's right. I'm in the rear.
That is
That
correct.
exactly.
We're stuck on like a thin path. We can't really rearrange ourselves.
If you guys make your way back into the chasm, you can. If you guys make your way back into the tunnel that you just came from, you could resituate yourselves.
We can do this one of two ways. One, we go ahead and we take this one at a time, or two, one of us goes ahead and make sure we can maybe make a makeshift bridge of some sort.
What would we make it out of?
I don't know. Hey, you mask, you got anything like that?
Spells for that, sadly.
Oh well, looks like we're just have to do this old-fashioned way then. This is gonna fucking suck. Stand back. This thing it's gonna hurt. At the very least, I'll let you know. I'll go ahead and try to get across.
All right, Flinar, I'd like you to make me an acrobatics check, please.
Mm-hmm.
So as you go ahead and begin walking a thin rope or anything, your heels aren't digging in. It's just that the path itself is being licked by the side of this lake so heavily that it almost seems to threaten to grab onto your foot as it recedes back. As you kind of begin watching and start making your way along the path, another gas bubble, one of those gas bubbles very close to where you are, erupts, pushing the sludge up and over onto your shoe. And you hear this.
Take it off now!
Flinar, you suffer 5 points of acid damage.
Fine.
Are you okay?
As it pulls away, you watch as there really isn't any residue that is left behind on your shoe. However, it has taken quite a chunk out of it, and it has burrowed a bit onto you.
This shit burns. I don't know that.
Would you like to continue going, or would you like to come back?
Need to keep going.
All right, go ahead and give me another acrobatics check. Okay. So this time, as you kind of begin pushing your way around, you carefully begin stepping as best as you can around the wide berth of this lake. As your foot, because you missed the DC by 1, as your foot hits what you couldn't at first see is a soft patch of rock and earth. Your foot slips and once again goes right into the lake, and you hear that more intense now.
Mother.
Take 3 points of acid damage, however, as you're quickly able to yank your foot out and kick off the residue of the tar.
Someone's better get a fucking rope or some shit after I get over here.
All right, I'd like you to make me one more acrobatics check if you want to keep going. By the way, for this, I'm saying you guys are moving at your double speed. You guys are cresting as fast as you can, so it's 3 checks to get around it.
Okay.
So this time, as you're being very careful, you see another soft patch of dirt and quickly kind of do a wide step over it, managing to get your way all the way around the width of the lake. And it's about here that you realize that as you crest around, you look out to get a better view of the lake from the side that you're on now, and you see a winding of tunnels that seem to press on all around the walls, around the actual lake itself. The lake almost stretching for maybe a mile out. It is a gigantic lake before you.
Christ, all right.
But you managed to make your way to the other side just fine.
All right. How big is this fucking tar nonsense is from point to point if someone was just go straight in?
Make a survival check. Okay, so going straight across, not avoiding going the wide berth and just beelining it straight across, you venture you'd maybe save about 60 feet.
Not enough for the rope in my pack. God damn it. Not unless someone was just standing out there 10 feet in there.
I will say with that 15, you also realize that this tar is thick. You think that it might cause impaired movement if one tried to make its way through.
Oh, I know for certain that we're not supposed to touch it. I'm just trying to think if there's a way that I could maybe get these guys to use their arms. See if they can't just haul their asses across. But it seems like that's not an option either. What to do?
I'll go next.
All
and
right.
I'm going to hold out the parasol toward the lake, and I'm going to walk.
All right, so you'll kind of aim the parasol towards the lake, kind of moving it around as you see the gas bubbles. Go ahead and make me an acrobatics check, please.
Alright. Okay, cool.
So as you're kind of being careful, as you're looking around, you hear a gas bubble erupt, much louder than the rest, leaves this quite loud sound that kind of startles you for a moment as you lose your footing. Your foot sinks a good inch and a half into the lake, and there's this that eats at you. You go ahead and take 5 points of acid damage.
Alright. Keep going, keep going.
Make another acrobatics check, please. So as you're saying, like, keep going, you hit about the same patch of loose rock that Flinar hit, just much harder. As you completely lose your balance, your leg goes all the way up to about mid-calf, just straight down into the lake. You're...
Can I get out?
You can, yeah. You pull yourself back. However, that's going to be 7 points of acid damage this time.
Alright.
Can Goo start running like as she's going?
You want to try to crest the lake?
No, and like behind her, because I feel like I'm confident enough that I won't mess this up. And so as she's about 2/3 of the way around the lake, go ahead and make an acrobatics check. Oh boy, 19.
19. So you start, you kind of look, and with light steps.
I also have a secondary question, although I'm sure you wouldn't tell me. Would my unarmored movement allowing me to walk across liquids?
You could certainly try.
I don't like that
Kind
answer.
of
I do know that I have this as a possibility, so... So if Flinar really wanted to, he could probably try to go straight across if anyone
So,
really
Goo, you
needed
could
it.
certainly try. Would you like to?
No, I'm just chilling. I'm waiting to make sure that Esrayles gets to the other side by herself.
All right. Esrayles, go ahead and make another acrobatics check as you try to crest.
Oh, come on, man.
So, as you're making your way across, your foot snags onto a rather sizable rock that has jutted its way out of the lake. And as it goes, you trip forward, falling. Your parasol kind of flies a little bit ahead of you, and your left arm goes straight into the lake.
Oof.
I should have helped.
Once again, there's that. You go ahead and take 4 points of acid damage.
And I'm guessing the clothes I was wearing kind of melted off.
Yeah, they've melted a bit.
Ooh.
Okay, can I make a harder effort to run up and help her across?
Well, at this point, Esrayles is across. Like,
It's on fire.
No, it's not fire, it's acid.
I know.
For certain.
On fire.
You can go ahead and make another acrobatics.
I also would like to point out I have a speed of 50, so I
I'm
assume we'll be
aware.
doing this faster than...
I'm aware. So this
Okay.
also 2 acrobatics checks for you.
28!
So, rather than stick to the path, you start running along. You take a few steps, and right as Esrayles gets to the other side, Esrayles, you look back to see Goo just as another gas bubble comes up. Jump, flip, kind of grab onto the side of the wall and rocket himself forward with a few flips and land at the end of the path.
That was cool.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I should.
Let me see
Oh,
that
kind
arm.
of-
Come here.
I'm gonna kind of hide my arm from him. I'm fine. It's fine.
I'm like, hell you're not. I know how bad that hurts. Get over here.
Aster, Valak?
Here's up next.
Volok's the one I'm concerned about.
Can I go first?
You certainly can, Aster.
Alright,
Fortune-
assuming
alright.
that Esrayles allows Flinar to get your arm, get 7 hit points back.
So you make your way around Aster, and it is tight. You kind of have to lift your robes up a little bit to keep them from being touched by the acid, but very carefully. And
Damn,
with,
I was muted.
with kind of wide eyes, you begin cresting the side of the lake. Go ahead and give me another acrobatics check.
Use ravioli for help.
And how far was this?
It's 180 feet across, 180 feet around, or you could try to beeline it straight through, and it's about 120 feet.
And Ravioli help me with this? Like,
No.
like tap.
No, I'm sorry, but Ravioli's not
Okay.
really strong enough.
Ravioli!
If you would like, I could come out there and throw you.
So as Valak says this, you're kind of caught off balance for a moment as you fall a bit, and the upper part of your leg makes contact with the liquid, and you hear this.
No. And then I stop.
Aster, you go ahead and take 6 points of acid damage.
My wizard HP.
You kind of have to brush it off, and you see your robes. You see that part of your black robes have been eaten through.
So this is what false life is for.
I don't wear robes though.
All right, Aster, make one more acrobatics check, see if you can get across. All right, this time you just kind of wrap the part of the robe that has been eaten through together, and you just haul ass across, making it to the other side with your party.
I guess it's my turn.
All right, Valak, are you trying to crest the side, or are you just beelining it straight through the lake?
No, I'm following those guys.
All right, I'd like
Looks like
you
it might be the smart idea.
to make an acrobatics check, please.
These are going to be fantastic.
It is.
Oh. So Valak actually
So far.
kind of carefully stepping his way across, managing to take wide berths with his long Goliath legs, missing puddles of this acid that has splashed out from the numerous falls that have been taken on this path.
That is one of the most daintiest gilded.
Volok, make me another acrobatics check, please.
No!
Unfortunately, as you're kind of being careful and stepping across, you overjudge the birth of your step, and you almost kind of do the splits into this acid. Luckily, just your ankles and lower calf get hit by the acid. Volok, you take 5 points of acid damage.
Biachi's meltiest.
That's about what it's gonna become.
Give me one more acrobatics check. You pull your leg out and carefully begin making your way across. Your hands are kind of instinctually going to your bottom section as you're making your way through. Eventually making.
Hold on, I need to lift this up.
Eventually making your way all the way around the width of the lake.
All right,
And
ball check, start
all of
counting.
you now at this end see what Flinar sees. Flinar saw as you see these numerous tunnels all across the walls of this underground chasm that seem to open up around the lake. And you see the lake just stretch on and on.
It's not bubbling like the other one, but I'm a little concerned.
No. It's the same lake.
It is the same lake.
Yeah, this is the same tar-like lake that just stretched.
Ah, motherfuck.
God. How we expected to.
However, you guys, because you made it to the other side, there is an entryway. There is a tunnel on the far side that now that you guys have made it.
Okay. Well, I guess if that's the only way, that's the only way. Everyone?
Right. Marching order, please. You guys have a little bit of room to reassess yourselves if you'd like to.
Still would like to be up front if I can.
Okay, Flinar first.
Is it enough to walk in pairs?
No,
or
it is
okay.
still tight enough that it has to be single file.
And how dark is it?
It is pitch black. It is black. It is pitch black in here.
Anyone who does not have dark vision is fucked.
Okay, hang on.
Anyone who doesn't have dark vision is fucked.
Aster doesn't have regular vision.
Oh, they're fucked. I pull out a torch and just start walking right in front of.
Yeah, just.
Whatever.
No, you wouldn't be in front of Flinar. You'd be second.
Oh no, I'll just drag his ass out and go right in front.
Does everyone have dark vision? I know Aster does.
No, Goliath doesn't.
Flinar has dark vision, which is why he was up front.
I
But of course,
pull
when
out
he.
a torch.
Yeah, but of
Esrayles,
course, if
you
Volok
have-
goes ahead and pulls me from the front, I'll go. All right.
Esrayles, not only do you have dark vision, you have superior dark vision.
I do indeed, but everyone else does not. So that's.
dark
I believe, yeah. Aster, the only one who doesn't have dark vision in this party is Volok.
Well, I'm
He
still gonna
decided to
cast
force
dancing
himself up
lights.
front. So you know what?
So Volok stretches on, torch out as some globules of light
Yeah.
begin to coast next to him.
All right. If he's gonna be up front, I'll go be up behind. If he wants to be that way.
All right, so it's Volok, then Flinar.
No, I'm said at the far back.
Okay, so Volok, and who's next?
I can be next.
All right, Esrayle, and then
Me, I guess.
all right, so Gu, and then Aster, then Flinar.
Yep.
All right. So you guys push on through the tunnels that seem to take you a multitude of different directions, different twists and turns, never deviating from the single path that it is. As you make your way through it, best you can calculate, walking for maybe close to 30 minutes. Just ups, downs, twists, and turns. At one point, you actually hit quite an incline, about 120 feet of just straight uphill before you eventually crest it and begin making your way back down.
There's anyone following us right now, is there?
Make a perception check.
All right.
Unfortunately,
Still fucking pissed off that Volok decides to just fuck me. We had a good
I
plan
will
going.
fuck you. Bend over.
coupled with the anger and just the fact that you're not too well accustomed to the Underdark. However, you're being on a single path. You're fairly certain you're not being followed.
Never be too sure.
Eventually, Eventually, you all push your way out of the tunnel, and you find yourself in an even wider chasm. The difference here is that the walls are lined with these glowing mushrooms that give off a very faint light, almost like dim light, against the darkness of this chasm. There are a series of different Correct me if I'm wrong on this. I have it written down, but might is the one that comes out of the ground, yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hangs tight from the ceiling.
Thank you. A multitude of different stalagmites that jut themselves out from the ground. As you kind of take a minute to take in your surroundings, you look and see a rather wide ravine that stretches on far past the cavern that you're in now. However, as you try to look down it, you immediately realize just how deep the cavern runs, or how deep this ravine runs. As Esrayle, even at the edge of your dark vision, you can't see the bottom of this ravine.
Hey, Archer, light an arrow and shoot. See how far it goes.
Hey, Archer, light an arrow. Fuck you. I don't have a way to go ahead and light an arrow. Not unless you're willing to give me some flints.
I have a torch. Waving it at him.
All right, dickhead. Hold your torch still. Take a shot.
I just throw it at him.
God!
All right, so Flinar, you ignite your arrow and you lose sight of the arrow before you hear it connect with anything.
That is very deep.
Yeah, no shit.
Is there space to move around in here? Or not?
Yes. So I will finish the description.
Oh, yes, of course.
You guys are on a wide ledge at the edge of this ravine, about 100 feet outwards and wide. As you make your way out onto here, you see what appears to be a connected stone bridge that has been carved across the ravine by something. The work itself is incredibly shoddy, and it doesn't look too structurally sound, though it seems to be holding against the size of this ravine. As you make your way in here, what you start to hear is very soft drips of water. And it's about now that you guys hear coming up from the ravine. The arrow hit the bottom. It took about 17 to 18 seconds to hit the bottom.
Okay, Mr. Ranger back there. You've been shooting arrows? If it took that long, how far are we?
From here to the bottom of that? Let me think here.
Make an intelligence roll.
He's awesome at that. 16.
16. So thinking about it, gauging the fact that you shot straight and that you shot as hard as you could, and moving at the quickness of a fired arrow, you get the sense this is hundreds of feet deep, if not bridging the edge of 1,000.
All right. Close second figure. It's at worst 1,000, at best 999 feet.
Quite a drop. Alright. Flinar, ignore the lock. You go up front.
As I should be.
Everyone else, are we okay with the current position?
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Did we lose
Hi.
you?
Hi. My
What's
internet
going on?
connection became unstable for a second. I need to check the stream.
While our DM goes ahead and checks his internet stream, hey.
Oh, we're good,
DM.
we're good.
I forgot. I pull my great axe out and ignite it.
Ooh.
So as Vlak pulls it out, you see the pulsing of magma that against this area looks like a pretty bright torch.
You son of a bitch, you had that entire time. You decided to throw it.
By the way, Vlak, you don't need to ignite it. It just gives off this.
Whoa, one minute.
Oh.
It says that the mixer stream is offline.
Oh, let me reconnect
Oh.
it real quick. It says reconnecting.
Hey, you know what happens when you have a very terrible internet. Maybe sometimes you may be needing to go ahead and buy a VPN.
There we go.
Making
We're good. No, we're not. Stop.
You're gonna get us arrested. We're gonna go to
Does
jail
it,
until
does
we.
it actually give you a better internet? Because I'd be interested.
Yeah. Okay. So, fuck, what were we talking about? Okay. This bridge, it doesn't look the best quality. We should probably go one by one, like in the tar pool.
Light feet, light feet.
Hey, guys, does it say the stream is back?
I can see it.
I don't know. Does it?
Oh, you can see it?
I can see it, yeah. I have it open in a separate tab.
Does it say it's live or does it say it's playing a past broadcast?
It doesn't
well,
do that,
it's-
so it'd be live.
It's
Yeah.
live.
It's saying literally what we've just said, so I'm hoping that it is live.
Okay, yes, okay, that means we're live. Okay.
And I got a notification.
Alright. So yeah, so you guys sorry about that. I'm still trying to work with an old computer. So amidst this cavern, before you guys begin to do anything, accompanied by the dripping of water, you hear what sounds like chanting of some kind. You can't quite make out the language. It's very gurglish, almost.
It's not undercommon?
It is not undercommon.
Is it... I guess I don't know deep speech, so I can't say. Okay. Let's see. It's none of those, I'm guessing.
It is... Let me take a look. It is none of those.
Solid.
But it just seems to resonate throughout this cave that you are in.
Guy said that there was supposed to be a small encampment here. Hopefully it's them. Otherwise, I don't know if I'm comfortable meeting whatever's making that noise.
I don't know. That isn't like any chant Tedenian I've ever heard.
It literally sounds like...
Absolutely. Absolutely comforting. Alright. One at a time over the bridge. Again, light feet.
Okay, so you guys begin making your way over the bridge. As you step,
Yep.
it's fine.
Okay.
Which is weird, considering it looks like it's breaking and crumbling in quite a few places, but as you step, it's incredibly sturdy.
Even block?
Yeah, even as Valak puts his weight on it.
No chances. I don't want to go ahead and have something fuck up just because it feels fine.
Maybe the impurities are an illusion?
Oh, sure. Like I'd be able to not know if this is illusion or not. As
You
I
know
go
you
ahead
can't
and
know everything, right?
I very carefully go ahead and like try to pat at a side of the bridge that doesn't exist to see whether or not it does.
You run your finger into the crevice of the rock.
Oh yeah, sure, because obviously illusion.
It's real.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying. I'm mocking Goo with this idea.
I'm not saying the bridge isn't real. I'm saying its flaws aren't real.
You watch
to
as he...
dissuade,
Yeah.
to dissuade people from coming this way.
You don't see my hand doing this as I go.
Calm
You
down.
can still touch it, dumbass.
So because you guys are not being particularly quiet,
Uh-oh.
things stop.
Do you hear that?
Oh, well, fantastic. Apparently we all have to get ourselves a little bit passionate about illusionary bridges. On guard, everyone.
You hear a cacophony of different footfalls. Sounds like wet footprints as it steps across the ground. Eventually, what catches your eye as it enters into your actual light source are these purple fish-like creatures in a variety of different rags and robes. They are each wielding spears pointed straight at the bridge, with these big fish eyes that just stare at you. All their mouths open, and you see rows of sharp teeth that recede back past what your eyes can see. And you hear one of them. Another one.
I'm gonna try in Undercommon. Friend or foe?
You're gonna try to talk to him?
Yeah.
Alright.
In Undercommon.
In Undercommon.
What type of language is it?
You don't know. Or make a nature check.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Aster, you recognize these creatures to be Kua'Toa. The language they're speaking is Kua'Toa.
Wow.
Wait,
Wow.
no, hold on. It's not
could've
Okatoa.
guessed?
This is the wrong show.
Kua'Toa.
Esrayles, make a nature check as well.
Yes. Yes.
I'll say with advantage, being from the Underdark.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank God it is.
Alright, these are some weird-ass fish people.
Nothing from that. God damn it.
Aster, for your nature check, you know that Kua'Toa usually speak Undercommon, yet these ones don't seem to. Or at least they don't seem to be doing so, even in response to Esrayle asking.
I have a weird question. What kind of stuff do my rations have? Like, is there dried meat?
It's usually like meats, maybe some dehydrated vegetables, things like that.
Okay, I'm gonna take some dried meat out of my ration and I'm going to, like, toss it over. What?
But I thought.
They look at it, and they look at you like, what? Like, just confused. And all their spears aim at all of you.
Shit.
Hey, wild guess, but you wouldn't happen to know where Xale is, do you?
Are you saying this in common?
Yeah.
They don't seem to understand what you're saying.
Alright.
They don't seem to understand me either. I'm gonna translate it Undercommon.
I'm gonna try something weird.
Sure.
I'm gonna take a slight step in front of everyone else, very, very slowly, as to not be threatening.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to sit down.
Okay. You sit down.
And just be very still.
Whoever would like to make an intelligence check.
Not me.
I don't have the stat for it.
Esther.
Let me see. Fail. Up.
Alright. Just Aster's making it?
Yep.
It's fine, he got enough. So the GM will be kind enough to remind you that Zanav gave you an emblem to show to the Kua'Toa.
Kua'Toa.
I will show it off, I suppose.
Okay, so you go ahead and you hold up the emblem, and as you do so, they kind of look for a moment, look at each other. One in the front beckons with the spear for the person holding it to come over.
I come over.
They reach up, take it. They hand it back to you, and with their heads, motion for all of you to follow. As they
stand up.
And begin walking.
That wasn't so bad.
Well, it certainly would have been.
I really have to start listening better.
So as you guys make your way across, as you guys follow the Kua'Toa, you find yourselves to a small village of very, very crude stone buildings. You can see that there are a number of water pools, dark, murky water pools that litter the surrounding of the village, where a number of different Kua'Toa appear to be at play. Some of them are using fires to cook what appears to be this very small insectoid, and some of them are just eating the insectoids raw. A lot of looks your way as you make your way into the village, as some of them eye you with curiosity, others with hunger.
Hail! I guess to be clear, I'm going to be speaking in Undercommon.
You see one of them kind of opens its maw wide, and you just see a bunch of different a bunch of rows of teeth that go.
I have a small question. Is Bosco bigger than them?
Bosco is slightly smaller than they are.
Okay. I was gonna have him open his mouth to be threatening, but.
All right. So you guys go ahead and you push your way on, and as you are pushed on, you are led to a much better constructed, yet still incredibly crude stone building, where you can see that there are a few windows that are built into the side. As you enter, it is about a 20-foot by 30-foot chamber that you enter. And set atop a throne is this very large, what appears to be another Kua'Toa. However, he is, as I said, large. He stretches about 8 to 9 feet tall, and he is on the bulkier end. You can see some of the fat of his body kind of begins to dribble off of the throne that he sits upon, which, upon a closer inspection, is made up of hundreds of bones, some of which appear to have been replaced over time. Adorning his head is this very, very, very disgusting crown that appears to have chunks of rotten meat that are just perpetually sliding down the side of it, and you see little drips of grease that come off of the top.
I love him.
Luke's smiling, and I'm afraid.
I love him. He's my new favorite character.
No.
I guess I'll look at the
In Undercommon, you hear in Undercommon, Esrayles. Unless anybody else speaks Undercommon.
Nope.
Undercommon, no.
You hear.
Who goes there?
Hail. We come from the above. The Church of Denia.
More come for our service. I presume you have your emblem.
Did he take it?
No, he's saying, I presume you have your emblem.
No, did the other one take it? Or
No,
did he?
he gave it back to you.
Okay, I hold it up.
He motions his hand up and beckons for one of the Kua'Toa to fetch it. It goes over and grabs it. And as he brings it up, he presents it to the chief, to who you can presume to be the chief. As he holds it up, you watch as the chief reaches down, grabs it, and you hear, as he squeezes it, a crinkling? As he begins to fold back what appears to be a false layer of metal across the top, leaving behind a cooked pastry with the symbol of Denir in it.
Oh.
Did he just eat that symbol?
No, he ate what was inside that symbol.
You have a pastry inside there?
I don't know, but it's not hygienic.
How long have you been carrying that thing around anyway?
How's it not rotted?
Well, the symbol is the one you guys brought.
I know.
Yeah.
Fuck is this shit?
Excellent.
And he will now speak in common.
Well, travelers, I welcome you to my village. Please, know that anything you require, me and my people will be more than happy to accommodate you with. Please, speak the nature of why you have come to my village.
We've come seeking an artifact, or at least a piece of one.
Very strange. It is not usually the reason the church visits us.
What is the usual reason?
We assist with the escape of drow slaves. We leave them here, and if proper tribute is not shown, they are eaten. However, the Church of Denier has been very good about making sure that they give proper tribute.
Are there others?
Escaped slaves? No. We have not found any, at least not in recent weeks.
Very well.
Hey, Purple Eyes. That piece of the artifact. They said that belonged to the one guy, right? Or at least, according to what the dude was saying.
You mean him?
If you're crazy about it, it's not part of our agreement, but if you ever felt maybe putting on a little bit extra, if you so desired, you know.
And what do you mean?
I'm talking about getting some more slaves, if that's fine with you. But of course, if you're confident enough that we could just get the artifact and then we could just leave, then absolutely fine.
I'd like to be able to save anyone I could.
Well then...
I owe them that much.
Well, then there you go.
Just because I'm curious. Jordan.
What's up?
What was the chief's name? What was the chief's name? You said it earlier.
Didn't say.
He did, yeah.
No, Jordan had it though.
Jordan might have.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You said it earlier.
Literally. Oh my god.
Wait a minute. Is it?
How do you spell that?
Oh, you would have gotten it
Xale?
Xale, yes.
That's what I got in my notes.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
What
Okay.
the fuck?
Zal. That's his. That's Zal.
I thought Xale was the.
I thought Xale was the encampment.
That's why I
not
was
the
confused.
chief's name.
That's named
That's why we all took it down.
You know what? You're right.
cheated us.
I cheated you. No. Zal's the name. Zal's the name of the encampment. You're right. You're right. That was my mistake. I had it in my notes for last session that I was supposed to give you the chief's name. I didn't. The chief's name
Is
no, it's apologies. This is an incredibly asinine name, but I had to because it's Kua'Toa. It's Gupul Gablip.
Hello?
Gupul Gablip.
Gupul Gablip.
Gupul Gablip.
I apologize. I was supposed to give that to you last session. I apologize.
An honor to make your acquaintance.
Well, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance as well. I suppose proper introductions are in order. I am Chief Gabrik. And what's your name?
Decipher what I'm saying.
Decipher what.
Yeah, this is where everyone goes.
We're doing our best. I'm sure.
I think he asked for names.
Oh,
Yes.
I asked you for your name.
Can't you understand me speaking quite clearly?
I like her.
Whatever.
Everyone first.
Well, everyone's good for me.
Whatever.
Luke froze.
Yeah, Luke died.
All right.
I'll still go ahead and introduce myself. Fine. I'm an Albanian, soldier of the Empire. I'm with these yahoos for the moment.
He looks at everybody else who hasn't introduced.
Aster Florence. Professional adventurer.
Morton Gunther Atron. His dad.
He looks at Moscow.
Oh, have you brought another snack?
No, that is my son.
That is very strange, but it is not the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Adoptive. I should have made that clear.
Ah, so he does not come from your clutch.
No.
Oh, interesting.
He looks over at you, Valak.
And who is the big one?
Oh, I think Rick. Rick!
What?
You're here?
Muted.
I just got back.
Okay.
What is Valak's name?
What is Valak's name?
Volok.
Rock. Alright, let's make sure I have this correct. We have Flinar.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah, we get that.
We have Oscar Florence and Rock.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, you may have domicile here in my village for as long as you need. Please, have you any questions? Do not hesitate to ask.
Do you know of anyone that can lead us further into the Underdark?
Oh, of course. Well, to whereabouts do you wish to go?
I'm not too familiar. You probably want to ask her.
Ah, yes, the Drow.
No clue.
Where is it that your kind wishes to go?
I just got back. Can you fill me in real quick?
So
Just
the party has fully introduced themselves to the chief, and he is asking. He basically has said that you are welcome to stay here as long as you need. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And Gu has asked where, if you have any guides that could take you deeper into the Underdark. He asked where he'd like to go. He wasn't familiar and said to ask you instead. As he looks, by the way, he kind of glances, and as he looks back, he goes,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize this sooner. I presume these males are in your service.
Yeah.
We are
sorry.
all equal teammates.
Ah. That is very unusual.
She's rather humble that way.
Ah. I see.
I hold no power over them.
That seems like a loss on your end. But, regardless. Where is it that you and your teammates,
as he holds his hands up and does air quotes,
wish to go?
Where do we wish to go? That's the question. I'm not sure. Let's see. I don't have any locations in my notes.
You do not have any locations in your notes. You're absolutely right.
We're not exactly sure where this artifact is. But
Well,
He kind of scratches the underside of his 7 chins.
You could ask if he knows where the guy lives. If
You mean-
if the intel is correct, or am I just making large assumptions? Because I
will say you are making large assumptions because he did not say that he was in possession of it. He said the artifact that you seek is in an area where light does not, where the sun does not shine.
Well, I'm just making large assumptions because I actually just want to fucking choke the dickhead.
Man,
Nice.
what a dick.
what a dick.
It's Flinar.
Flinar
He's Lunar.
believes it might be in the possession of Senris golden blood,
ah, sunrise.
but we don't have the proof.
Well, if you wish to go after Sunris, I would urge you to proceed with caution, as he is the only male drow to ever achieve any sort of power within the matriarchy of drow society. It seems like you are quite afraid of him. Are you one of the females that he brought into his service?
I don't say anything.
That is understandable. Not many of the females who serve him are seen as paragons in drow society. Well, if you wish to go after Senris, I will let you know that he is back the way you came. Take the leftmost tunnel back from the entryway, and we'll leave you into the main slave area. It is heavily guarded and heavily patrolled. The main houses are about a half a mile's walk away from the area.
There ain't no one here that maybe can help us get a better idea of where this artifact may be. We know it's here, but we don't have a clear path.
I'm gonna try and like minor illusion what I assume like the other artifacts look like, the other crystals.
Okay.
Any...
You haven't seen it before.
I assume they're like crystals similar to the one we have.
Let's go ahead and call this.
At the very least, he knows that it's supposed to be made into a gauntlet from how Nakax described it.
Correct. You also don't know which portion of the artifact you're looking for.
So I'd probably just make the whole thing.
Esther's seen the whole thing, right? It was on the ghost lady?
No.
No? Oh.
You're
I'm
talking
gonna
about...
just do a picture of it.
Yeah.
I don't remember who.
The only one that would have known is Nakax, because he saw...
Right. Now, did Nakax draw a picture? I don't 100% remember.
Is it a Nakax or
he didn't draw a picture, but he did see certain artifacts in a vision, and one of them was in fact the gauntlet.
And he's gone. He's dead. Goodbye.
Who's dead?
Nakax.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe Nakax is fucking dead.
All right.
I'd like to say that...
Aster, okay, so Aster, based off of the description
Yes?
that you got, I'd like you to go ahead and make an intelligence roll.
Hang on. Chris, what was that?
I'd like to say that during this, I'd grab Esrayl's hand and just kind of give her a smile.
I'm supposed to be good at this. It's 13.
13. So to the best of what you can assume the other pieces look like, you minor illusion each of them into existence. You don't know the cut. You don't really know the cut of the gems. You don't really know how they're positioned. So to the best of your ability, you try to illusion them. The chief kind of looks for a moment. He starts to lean forward, and you guys hear a very audible...
That is unfortunate. Servant, repair my throne.
And you watch as like about 10 Kua'Toa come and actually physically lift him from the throne, while a few others go and repair the bones that have shattered onto it, and before placing him back down.
Damn, that's a big ass boy.
It's a fucking NASCAR pit crew.
A little bit actually.
I'm gonna just turn over to the nearest party member. Just gonna go. That's probably the most disgusting thing I think I've actually seen.
I don't know. I think I saw Balak naked once. I'm not. It was dark.
Don't.
Not sure.
No,
Interesting.
He'll make
Unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with these artifacts. Perhaps ask around the camp. Some of our scouts may have spotted these kind of objects that you are searching for. However, unfortunately, I am not one of the people that deal directly with missions such as that.
Ah, so you have a military force, or so to that extent?
Not military. We have very skilled scouts who make their way through the Underdark and report things that they find to me.
Well, so far that'll be the closest bet if we want to try to actually, I guess, pinpoint a location or a possibility.
Best guess.
I mean, it can't hurt to ask. I'm just curious, though. Can we actually speak to them?
Yes. That is a bit of a conundrum. Unfortunately, a lot of the Kua'Toa have not learned to speak the Undercommon tongue. However, I have developed a solution to that situation. Please, step forward.
I'll step forward.
He holds his hand. He holds his hand out towards you.
Who's you?
Goo. We'll say Goo since he stepped forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
He holds his hand out towards you.
I'll take his hand.
He motions for you to come closer.
Yeah, I'd get closer and take his hand or
He pulls
whatever.
you a bit closer and puts his hand right at the top, right on your head.
Ugh.
Greasy and slimy. It is a very uncomfortable sensation. And he kind of closes his eyes for a moment and speaks a few things. The last thing you hear is him say, "Blip dul poop." I would like anybody who would like to make a religion check.
There we go. Finally, something in my wheelhouse.
Not one.
Wow.
Of course I get my natural 20s now.
So-
I guess I'm kind of forced to be part of.
Aster, you recall this quicker than anyone because this is the weirdest deity you would ever read about. Blipdul Poop is the lobster-headed female god of the Kua'Toa. Her head very closely resembles that of a lobster. Her hands, that of pincers, and the actual body itself is that of a female form.
What are like the proportions? Is it like giant lobster head or?
I'll have to blur some of this, but I will show you a picture of her.
Oh my god. Is she naked? Eric, is she naked?
She is, but I have blocked it.
I'll find it. I'll find it.
No. Here, look at Zoom.
Oh my god.
Oh, fucking Christ. Do I see this mentally?
You don't really know about it. However, Aster, that image comes into your brain hard.
That's like one of the arguments about what
I will
really
say
makes a
a bit
mermaid.
later. I will say a few beats after Esrayle, you remember the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And as he finishes his incantation, you feel what almost feels like a splash of water colliding with your body goo that seems to very harshly impact into your vocal cords. And you now hear what originally sounded like gibberish, now fully understandable, as you hear a few Kua'Toa speaking and saying, "These things look tasty, don't they? Yeah, maybe the chief will be nice and let us have a bite. Oh, I don't know about that. I think he'd sooner eat them himself than..." And they stop for a moment, kind of looking at you, Goo, and they one of them goes, "Oh, he just did the thing, didn't he?"
If you finish that thought, I'm going to come over there and eat you.
So Goo, you have tongues cast on you, which means you can understand any language, any verbal language, and speak back.
Boy, that thing I'm supposed to get soon anyway.
Maybe we'll say,
Would anybody else like to receive the blessing of Blipdul?
I'm gonna look over to Esrayles and kind of just give her like, I do not want this.
We have to do what we have to do, don't we?
Alright, so as you step forward, he will place his slimy hand back onto you, concentrate for a moment, recite his incantation, and as you now feel this collision with your vocal cords, this feels like crashing waves into your throat, you can now hear everything clear as day. As if they were speaking common.
I trust in her, she trusts in me. God damn it. I'll go up.
Alright, so I will say, for Goo and Esrayles, as he pulls away, there is like a thin, slimy imprint of his hand where it's been left behind. His hand is mostly dry now. And as Flinar steps up, he switches to the other hand, which has that same grease on it.
Oh, God.
Recites the incantation. Flinar, you now have tongues. Aster, would you also like tongues?
Yes.
He'll go over and he'll cast the incantation, and now his other hand is dry.
Goddamn, I should wait for Valak.
Valak, do you want the incantation as well?
Sure.
So as you step forward, he reaches down and touches the sides of his throne with both hands and rakes a slick amount of grease off of them before moving both of his hands and touching the side of Balak's throat and reciting the incantation and giving Balak.
Oh my god, he has so much stuff out the side of the ship.
Master Florence, do you think you can do something about this?
Oh,
I don't know if the
Whoops.
grease
Sorry.
actually helps with. Okay, can I make it a fucking Arcana check to see if the grease is needed for tongues to continue?
make an Arcana check.
Yeah.
This Arcana check is sponsored by Silence Your Cell Phones.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
So, you've never heard of grace being a component of tongues, but you've also never been in a Kua'Toa society. So, to the best of your arcane knowledge, it shouldn't, but you're not 100% certain.
I don't know if removing the grease will take away from the magical effect. Since
You can always ask the chief.
That'd be very rude. I wouldn't.
I'm just going to go now. And he starts walking away.
May the blessings of Ritual Poop be with you.
Yeah, so blessings of poop, yeah.
I am very glad that I am fully covered.
Alright, so as you guys make your way out, you can hear all the Kua'Toa seem to be talking normally, a lot of them speaking common, some are kind of muttering to themselves. Others are kind of looking over at you with curiosity and once again hunger. You see a lot of what looks like tiny fish, little Kua'Toa-lings that are splashing around in the murky waters and having fun.
Okay, time to find out who is the leader of the scout group and see if we can't get this thing finished up.
Make an investigation check, Flinar.
Alright. Despite the fact that I am not trained in investigation.
Not
That bad.
horrible.
Okay.
Not bad.
So it takes you a little bit, as a lot of them seem scared as you start talking to them, like, oh my gosh, these outsiders know our language! And they take off running away from you. However, eventually, as you begin asking around, you come across a Kua'Toa of much darker purple skin. His head seems a bit more centered on his body. Still these beady fish eyes that look at you. And you can see that he is adorned in what would pass as nicer rags. As you approach, he kind of looks at you.
Yes, can I help you?
I'm looking for the scouts. The outsiders know the language. Come on, let's get this over with.
Oh, I see you have received the blessings of Ritual Poop.
Oh, good, so you're not running. Excellent.
No, of course not. Why would I run from such greatness?
Well, probably because everyone else going, no, outsiders, I don't care.
Well, if you're looking for a scout, you'll find him. My name is Mutaku.
Metaku.
How do you spell that?
Mottutkuuu.
I'm not...
Hello?
I feel like I don't even want to try with these names.
DM,
Yes.
I'm gonna be straightforward with this. You better be the one to make sure that you put all these names in our notes, because I am not putting down a single fucking name down here.
MMO.
Okay. Let me give you the chief's name, okay? So the chief's name is spelled GOOPOOLGABLIB.
Alright. And
And this scout's name is Motuku. It's MMOTTUKUU. David has just died. He's like, I'm done with these.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if we're gonna get like names out of this shit, you better put them in manually, you scumbag.
I thought I would hate mind flares, but I think I already hate this. Hello.
Did you spend 20 minutes in Google Translate between English and like Swahili? This is my only answer.
Are you dead?
Kill me now, please.
Inside.
Oh god, if we ever do stream highlights, this has to be a highlight. David dies to Kua'Toa.
Why is this a thing?
Because they're Kua'Toa names. I'm sorry.
It's like, okay, what's your name?
I have the glab galab.
How do you spell that? Is that with like a B with an accent or a B with an accent?
How many apostrophes are in there?
7? Good.
Oh, is it for parentheses too? I love parentheses and brackets.
Oh, you're gonna hate me in a second.
Oh no!
I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about. This is the best session ever.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is the little nyet over the first M or the second one?
Shut up!
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
unbelievable. All right.
So, why did you question my son? Why are you looking for me?
Well, not me specifically, but the head of my group, for the time being, is trying to see if we can speak with someone that is either in authority of your group or someone that has caught sight of something that we're looking for specifically.
Hail, we're looking for something.
Oh,
very
Flinar,
great.
oh, you're looking for the Grand Scout.
The Grand Scout.
Grants.
There are 4 of us. Here's the leader of our group.
Well, where can we find him?
I will take you to him. Please follow me.
And he will
Thank you.
begin walking off with you. Do you want the names now, or do you want them when they meet?
You're gonna copy, paste, put them in the notes, you scumbag. Don't even fucking bother.
All right. So as he leads you into another ramshackle hut. However, this one has a series of carvings on the outside. Unfortunately, because you cannot understand Kua'Toa and speak to them, you cannot read their script. However, he makes his way inside, and you see 3 other Kua'Toa that are currently finishing off what appears to be pulling insectoids off of skewers, preparing them in a kind of sense. However, all they're really doing is putting them into baskets where smaller Kua'Toa grab them and start running them out to the village.
Well, this are your members of my scouting party.
You're gonna fucking hate me in a minute. You point to one of them.
Hit me with it.
I'm not putting this down in my notes. All right.
This is Squidlop. It's Shuglop. Shuglop.
This one's easy.
Shlu glop.
No, Shuglop. SHOOGLOPP.
Oh my god.
Hey, I
Something
got that
that's
one.
actually competent.
Glop.
This is Barhoglop.
All right,
Okay.
no, I'm not putting that down.
Shut up, Joanne. Put it down anyway.
BAHURL
BAA. URL.
GAGOOP.
BAG. OV.
Luke, can I
That's
copy your homework later?
That's what's gonna happen after this.
And this is Toyota Camry.
And this is our best friend, Jeff.
And this is our Grand Scout.
Oh no.
Frognook Kicked Cook.
Yeah.
KLO
Oh.
GGNO.
I'll copy all of this down and send it to you people. Don't chill out.
You
Hold
fucking
on, wait.
better.
Everyone shut up. Everyone shut up. Alright, I get it. KLOGGNO.
OKTI
OKTI.
KOOK.
Okay. That's the Grand Scout, right?
That's the Grand Scout.
Okay, I'm just gonna put all this in the Discord.
I'm just gonna delete all the notes that I just put down there. I'm over it.
I love that I made Jordan just I said KLO and Jordan just started laughing.
Because I swore you started with like an S sound. It's like, okay, this is an S sound. K? Oh, no.
Ah, no.
Nah.
Oh, God.
Okay, hopefully I've got everything right.
Post it in the Discord and I'll tell you
It's
right
in the
now.
Discord, yeah.
Probably
Okay.
not.
Okay, let me take a look.
Everybody's using it.
I'll fucking.
Motuku, Shuglap, Bahrolga Goop, yes, and Clog Nook Tikuk. Yes, you have those right.
Holy
Okay,
crap.
thank you.
What a hero. What a hero Luke is.
What a
Now that horrific incident of terror is over.
I'm sorry, I need a second. Just the reaction was.
Just because of this, he's gonna make up 8 more characters that are just absolutely nonsense, and I'm gonna be upset. That's what's gonna happen now.
Every character's gonna sound like S, but it's only gonna be a whole nother language.
To be fair, talking like this makes it much more difficult to discern the names.
Yeah, I wonder why.
It's like that
It's like,
video of the Turk.
S was 3 letters in one. To make it
Yeah, I
sound
didn't
like
understand
an
a single thing you said.
Yeah, that's the point of the fucking names.
It's going so bad.
It's like that video of the Turkish newscaster lady doing the like vocal exercises, and she's just sitting there like get to gush 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 gush.
Okay, all right.
Welcome to Falls They May, everyone.
Oh my god, this is great. This is fantastic. All right, so almost inside. So the Grand Scout looks at you and says,
Oh, yes, welcome. What can we do for you?
All right.
"Keep together, Luke."
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. This is their best friend.
So I'm sorry if I say this wrong. Glocknoctikuk?
Glognoctigu.
Ah, yes, very good.
Although
You want to say it a little bit faster.
Glocknoctikuk.
Perfect.
Okay. We do not know our way around the Underdark. And while my friend is from here, she's not been here in many, many years. And we are looking for an artifact.
Interesting. An artifact. Quite irregular.
Mask, you did the deal with the last time. Do that again.
We have a vague idea of what it looks like, so I apologize if this is not accurate.
So you go ahead and as you flash the different ones, you first start with the emerald. He kind of looks at it, shakes his head. Do the next one, the sapphire, shakes his head. As you fire it again and you create the onyx from what you think, he says,
I
You
see something.
recognize it.
See something like that. Mm-hmm.
Where did you see it?
he thinks for a moment.
Get my notes back up. It's in the Waste Corpse Marsh.
Waistcoats March?
Waste Corpse Marsh.
No, west, as in the...
No. Waste Corpse Marsh.
Waste Corpse Marsh.
Doesn't sound pleasant now, does it?
That wouldn't happen to be a giant lake-looking thing of black liquid?
It is not it. It is connected to it, though.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
It wouldn't happen to be, like, right next to, like, the
That would
smaller
be.
bit.
That would be. What you saw was Lake Waste Corpse.
Okay, so it is the
Okay,
bit.
so
Fuck's
it would be...
sake.
It's a there's a marshland that exists just outside the lake itself.
And how do we
Flinar.
get that?
Oop, sorry. Go on.
Oh, no. Don't worry about it.
Go ahead.
Oh. Flinar, it's a marsh. It'll have not all of that.
Well, we looked at it. We were already there.
It went on forever. It's probably beyond where we could see.
Well, we're not going to be able to, like, step on the
We're going to go a different way.
Another one. Another one of the Kua'Toa. This one is Shuglop. Will speak up and say, "Oh, have you corpses to get rid of?"
Hopefully, no.
We were told not to put anything in.
Oh, well, wait. Why would you not put corpses? Why would you not put corpses into waste corpse? It is where we get rid of all the corpses.
Well, we don't exactly have any corpses on hand, and we don't plan on having any in hand either. So, we're... Are you disappointed at that? You sound disappointed at that.
A little bit, yes. Who doesn't carry a fresh corpse with them at all times? It's very weird.
He might.
He's a Valak. Look at you, Valak.
Actually, he does. He's got a bird in his bag.
Oh my god. I forgot about that.
Oh, fuck.
How long was that bird in there?
Valak, do you pull out the corpse of the bird?
Oh, the toucan from way back when?
Oh, Rick!
God.
Rick's been... I think Rick's just asleep or gone.
I think Rick's gone.
Not busy.
Rick.
Okay.
We've left our corpses at home, unfortunately.
Oh. They all kind of get resenting. Oh. You should never. Another one will. The other one will pipe up. This is Balhurgagoop. A Bahurgagoop will pipe up and say.
You want to say that again?
Ba?
No, I heard you. I was just making fun of you. Never mind.
He'll pipe up, and in an incredibly thick Kua'Toa accent, will say,
"Oh my, Eric! Why the
I
fuck?"
think somebody should have an aneurysm.
Okay.
It's gonna be Eric or Jordan.
Eric, did I understand that?
"Make an intelligence."
Oh, let me do this!
I'll let you do this.
I am upset.
18! Fuck you!
He said you should never waste a corpse.
Fuck you! Oh, let me speak Kua'Toa too!
It's an important check to make. Thank you, Eric.
I did not expect this session to be full of giggles.
Wasted my dice!
Now you see, this is the appropriate time for me to freak out because of this garbage. Unbelievable.
Well, my name is Goop Glap Goop Goop.
Hi, my name is. Hi, my name is. Hi, my name is.
No, that's my mother.
While we're taking a break, Rosetta Stone is a website.
Learn to speak fluent Kua'Toa.
This is the episode we need to refer people to.
It's not gonna be as good if you keep saying that.
This is the greatest 30th episode anniversary I've ever
Oh,
experienced
happy
in my
30th
life.
episode, everybody.
I think I prefer Liam, please.
Fuck.
Lauren Leonard, give me back Lauren Leonard, please.
Yeah, where's Lauren? He needs to be our sidekick.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
All right, back to the game at hand. Whew. All right, so go ahead.
Where were we?
We
Alright,
were talking about we don't have corpses for the lake.
We left our corpses at home.
Out, you're dead.
What?
All right, so
What?
Matuku will say, we can take you to the marsh if you request.
Yes, that would be most helpful. Thank you.
Oh, of course. Anything for those blessed by vegetables. Please, brother.
And he will walk out and go, and you hear the entire count. The rest of the scouts will follow,
Okay.
and you guys will be led out of the camp. No questions, huh? All right, let's move on.
Hey, he knows what's going on. None of us want to be in the Underdark.
By the way, I just looked these things up. They're adorable.
They are pretty cute.
Yeah.
You guys, has anybody never seen?
David,
No,
all I see is
they're-
no, I
they're-
know what they are.
They're the Murlocs from Warcraft, but I no.
All right, so
If I had one.
yeah. So you guys are led back over to that ravine.
Okay.
And as you guys arrive, you see Matuku kind of looks over the edge, kind of scratches his head for a moment, and will say in Kua'Toa to the others, Shuglop, do you think you'll work from here? Shuglop will say, maybe. I'm not certain. He'll look over. He listens for a moment. Strange. Seems like the river has gone silent. He'll kind of reach into his pocket and he'll pull out this very mossy, this very ugly-looking ball of moss and kind of toss it in. Waits a little bit, and then after again about 18 seconds, about a little longer than 18 seconds, as you didn't fire it with that kind of velocity, you'll hear. They'll wait for a moment. That's odd. The moss ball is supposed to grow and make a ladder for us. What happened?
You mean to tell me that pit down there, the one with the 1,000 and the, we're supposed to go down there?
Yes, it is the way to the waste corpse.
Oh God, no.
Well, plan B. And they will begin kind of rummaging through their packs. And as they do so, they will pull out these very thick-looking, mossy ropes. As they pull on, they begin tying it off to each other and begin feeding it down the ravine. They take about 30-plus ropes out and begin tying it off and tossing it down into the ravine.
I am so glad I joined the Empire. I am ecstatic to continuously work with the Emperor. And now I am stuck here in the Underdark with a bunch of weirdos, and now we're going to get down here.
And he will say, "Woof!" And he'll raise his hands up for a moment, and as he does so, you guys feel the ground beneath you begin to shake as two massive fins begin to form out from the earth and pin the rope and pin the rope down in place.
What manner of magic is that?
Make an Arcana check, Ezra.
The big dick kind.
Queen.
So you've heard of this kind of magic. It's simple. It's essentially stone shaping. He just basically moved the stone to become a new form.
Interesting.
But he will respond saying, this is the one that has the very heavy accent, by the way.
Oh no.
He was like,
the blessing that has been given to me by Big Pop.
I see.
Yeah, cool. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at this rope here, see whether or not it goes, just immediately snaps my hand as I go down. See you guys!
Alright, so you go ahead and you begin curling around, and as you do so, you jump, you grab the rope, jump off the edge.
Whoa, no. Oh, no.
You fall for quite a while.
I don't even have a chance to, like, save myself. I don't have anything to do here.
The rope seems to go taut for a moment, and right as you're about to hit the edge, it curls all the way up and locks you in form before gently resting you at the bottom of the ravine. You take no falling
Are
damage.
you okay?
Okay.
Not dead, is he?
Baby!
Well, he's alive at least.
I guess I'll go next, and I'll
Alright,
pick
so-
it up as well.
So you go ahead and as you push off to start the descent,
Mind the fall!
at the last second, the rope will curl up over itself, kind of cradle you for a moment, go taut, and then gently rest you at the bottom of the ravine.
Oh, I didn't need to use Featherfall.
The rest of you simultaneously begin this process of grabbing the rope, jumping back, free falling, and then the rope cradling you just before you hit the bottom. Eventually, the Kua'Toa follow.
So the question now is how we get back up. When...
I'm sure they have an answer to that. I'm not
If you
exactly
ask
sure
them,
what it is.
they will say, "Ah!" And Matuku will kind of tug on the rope a few times, tuk, 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 and then you watch as the rope kind of begins curling with him all the way back. It starts kind of just spinning him upwards before he eventually comes back down.
Yeah.
I hate everything about this rope. And I don't like it.
Welcome to the DM had fun creating magic items.
The rope of moss.
The rope of moss.
The rope of Elmas.
All right. So as you guys touch down at the bottom of the ravine, again, it is still pitch black. However, for if you go ahead and put your globules of light back up, Esrayles,
Yep.
you see a dried up bank of what appears to be what once could have been a river. You see the mossy ball as splatted and broken against the bottom of the ravine. It appears to be unusable. As the Kua'Toa kind of scratch their heads and look around at it, they kind of follow it up the river, and what you can see just barely at the edge of your dark vision, Esrayles, is what looks like part of the ravine that has collapsed all over onto itself. However, the odd thing about it is the water seems to stagnate at one point, as you can barely see it cresting the lip of this, barely cresting the lip of what appears to be this dam. But what should be something that overflows just seems to kind of trickle down the rock itself and barely feed into this ravine.
Does this dam seem magical at all?
You make an Arcana check.
Is it actual water or is it the fucking gloop?
Would you like to touch it?
Does it look like the gloop?
Make a nature check.
Oh my god. I hate this place.
Welcome to the Underdark.
I know. I said I was gonna hate the Underdark. Arcana check, right? Nature? Nature.
Nature.
Smart.
So it does not look like the gloop. And Esrayles, as you kind of get a closer examination at it, it doesn't look like it's magical in any way. And as a matter of fact, the closer you get and the more you look, you notice that there are burrows, like holes that have been tunneled into the side. And it appears that the structural integrity of the stone on the side has collapsed, but it is giving just enough flow that the water doesn't have enough of a chance to overflow across the dam.
Okay.
And as they approach you here, as they approach, they kind of scratch their head and they, one of them goes, "Ah, it appears the Umber Hulk have decided to make a burrow down here."
I'm sorry, fucking what?
Or Hulk?
You can make
What is that?
You can make a.
Do I even know?
I'd say the ones who are the most likely to know are probably going to be Esrayles and Aster.
I'm smart. 15.
Esrayles, would you like to?
Fucking oof.
So, Aster, the name rings a bell with you, but it's not enough of a bell to remember exactly what they are.
Of course.
But if you ask the Kua'Toa, they say, very big insect-like monsters, large pincers around their mouths. Do not look in their eyes. The eyes are what capture you.
Is that what you've been eating?
Matuku goes, "No, we would never dare to eat the Umber Hulk."
The Umber Hulk. Just the one.
Oh, no, Umber Hulk live in very massive hives.
Massive.
hives. There's more than the singular.
They kind of chatter amongst each other as Block asks 5 or 10, and they look at the cave at the temples. Possibly, I think only 2 or 3, based on the tunnels. However, should we run into their hive, that would be most unfortunate for us. Umberhulk hives tend to house. Where's the last one we found? And the one with the thick accent goes, the last one we found housed. Starts counting on his fingers. This morning, but 1, 2, 3, 4. He holds up the 10, starts going around, lifts up Aster's arms, lifts up Esrayle's arms, lifts up Goo's arms, lifts up Balak's arms, lifts up Flinar's arms, lifts up the Kua'Toa's arms.
There's about 100?
More.
That's...
Thousands?
Okay. Hive is nowhere close to here. We will be fine. Just be careful.
Are you sure about that?
I'm going to cast Mage Armor myself.
So you go ahead and you cast an Mage Armor.
Yeah.
The hive, they look at each other and think,
The hive is 40, 50 miles away from here.
Oh, that's not even close. No, that's still relatively close.
The Umberhulk have a nesting ground over there. They branch out sometimes, but fewer Umberhulks are easy to deal with.
So what exactly happens when you look into their eyes?
Oh, you get eaten.
Obviously.
Just like that.
No Kua'Toa has ever stared into the eyes of an Umberhulk without being eaten.
I will try.
You will not try.
Well,
It's a challenge.
Can you look at it through other means, like reflective objects?
they seem confused by the question.
Okay then.
Flinar, one, go for the eyes right away.
that is if I could actually go ahead and take a gander at them before they take a gander at me.
Oh, Matuku will say,
Oh, it is okay. Don't worry. As long as we are quiet and we are careful, the Umberhulk will not find us.
That's what I'm worried about. But everyone be as careful as we can. As
Come.
quiet as we can while we go.
I'll say,
Come, it is time to head to the marsh.
and they will begin walking along the ravine. I would like a marching order, please.
Second to last.
Oh, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
I'm going to have Flinar go up front, and I will go second.
Okay. So the Kua'Toa will kind of split themselves along like the sides of you evenly, just kind of keeping an eye out with you all. So this is going to be travel checks. I would like one of you to make me a survival check at advantage.
I got that.
But so do I.
But also me.
Oh, for some reason I'm trained in survival. I have +9.
Oh my god, everyone's a survivor.
Vamos.
I knew it shouldn't have been you.
So as you begin making your way through the ravine, a lot of what catches your eye is that along what would be the upper echelon of this wall, at least upper to you at your stature inside the depths of this ravine, is that there are more of this fungi that grow out of the sides and kind of lead this small pathway as you're making your way along. Part of the way through, you start to see what appears to be a number of different scratches, like these claws that dug into the side and almost tried to begin burrowing, but gave up and moved along.
Actually, that's a very good point. You talk about fungi. Have I seen any red mushrooms, white spots?
Go ahead and make a perception roll.
All right.
By Ethan, do I double in size?
So as you're making your way along, you see a singular mushroom. A singular mushroom of red cap with white spots.
I'm just gonna go ahead and... I'm not gonna eat it. I have a thought. I'm just gonna go ahead and pluck it.
Okay. You have it in your hand. You notice a small puff come from it as you pluck it. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
thought it was only meant for ingestion and not for the... Fuck you, DM!
You're the one that picked it.
Nothing happens. I was just fucking with you.
I've had this situation happen once before, DM!
Jordan,
Oh yeah.
Jordan, if you hadn't raged and throw your headphones, you would have heard me say, I was fucking with you, nothing happens.
Flinar, be careful. We've already had
The
this
small
situation
puff,
once
the small
before.
puff, because you are well trained in nature. The small puff was the spores that just linger on the outside of it. You probably picked it and it released a small puff of its seeds, basically. But the seeds don't do enough with you.
It's not a big deal. We were already told to, look out for certain ones, but this one, I'm interested. See if I can't go ahead and maybe try and get whatever it's coated with, put that on an arrow. Maybe be useful.
All right, so you go ahead and add the mushroom to your inventory.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and somebody else please give me a survival check at advantage.
Just be careful with it.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Dad. Just be careful with it. All right, so who wants to give me the next survival check at advantage? All right, go ahead.
I heard dice rolling, so I assumed it was...
No, that was me rolling dice.
Oh.
Don't worry about it.
That is to
And
say,
an action.
there's 14 animals coming after us.
Okay.
17, actually.
28.
28.
I wasted
as you-
that 20.
Yeah, as you push on, you begin seeing those of you... Let me double check everyone's passive perception real quick.
Passive perception of 17.
So Esrayle, Gu, Flinar. Esrayle, Gu, and Flinar.
Yes.
As you push on through, just faintly, ever so faintly, as you press along the rock, you begin to see what looks like glistening coming from some parts of the wall. Like just the shimmer along the ravine.
Is it something I can touch?
You can. You go up and touch it.
It was my gloved hand.
Yeah,
Just to be
so you
safe.
Go up, and as you touch it, it's jagged. As you kind of run your hand on the rock, there's a lot of bumps.
So it's not like some sort of material. It's just the rocks are glistening.
As you're kind of looking a bit closer, you notice that there are little cracks of gem in the wall.
Gemstones.
As you say this, the Kua'Toa, the Grand Scout speaks up and says, yes. Society has no need for these sparkles. Blech, disgusting. And as they say it, all four of them in simultaneous go, disgusting.
Actually, on the surface world, these are quite valued.
Oh, well, feel free to take a few if you'd like.
Let me see if I have anything. I don't have anything. I don't think that I can use to mine this with. Would there be something in my woodcarver's tools?
Not really. I'd say you could try. It'd be improv, though.
Yeah, I'll try. Would I have to roll?
That's just straight dexterity.
Oof.
Oof. So you kind of take your woodcarver's tools and you're trying to find a way to kind of line it up, and as you... your hand just kind of slides against the wall as you try to dig some of the gems out.
Can I try and take a piece off of my hunting trap
Come on.
and do the same?
That's an
I'm not exactly...
again.
I just assume there'd be some kind of a metal bar.
So this is less about how dexterous you are and more you trying to strike it at that point.
I mean, I could like
Woodcarver's-
leverage it.
Yeah. Let's say, give me a strength.
It's just a general strength roll. Got it. Fuck.
Kind of dig the trap a bit into the side, and as you pull, a very, very small nugget of what looks to be a ruby stone comes out of the floor. comes out of the wall. It's worth about 10 gold.
Okay.
I was hoping for diamonds. Anyone else want to try?
I prefer us getting our job done and getting out of here before those.
It's worth more. That's worth more of our time.
Alright. Fine.
I'll say if you guys want to, you could try once more. Like, not. I'll say, like, if you two want to try one more time, you can.
Okay. I'm down. Wait, why am I rolling?
Dang it.
Okay, 12.
Why am I rolling the game?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a 7.
7.
No.
So, Goo, unfortunately, you're not quite able to do it. As you take the woodcarver's tools, Esrayles, it takes you a little bit, but you manage to kind of start carving around a very soft portion of the cave of the ravine. And as you finish kind of carving it out, you see a sizable emerald kind of pops out. It's worth about 80 gold.
Nice to know that you're so convicted and you're trying to find your artifact as you're just digging out gems.
Listen, I was hoping to find a diamond. I mean, probably not worth 500 gold, but if we could have gotten one for free, I could use it in my spells.
I mean, I will say, you guys, like, there is a very deep, very large portion of this wall that is still glittering. You guys can sit here and attempt to do it. It'll just take time.
We can come back.
What if we all try to go at it at one time?
I'll say, Valak, if you want to give it a shot.
If we try to keep doing this, we're going to be making noise. And if
what
these...
do you need?
This will be a strength roll from you.
You're
Attack roll,
right,
but it
Flinar.
will there's the gems.
Flinar, Goo, we should probably get going.
So, Valak, if you want to attempt, it'll be a strength check, a straight strength check if you're trying to be careful, or you can make it an attack roll with your axe, or but you run a high risk of damaging whatever gems are in the wall.
I'll just go for the straight strength.
Okay, go ahead and give me a strength.
Precious as she wants.
Go ahead and give me a strength check.
21.
Okay. So, as you guys are talking, Valak kind of takes his axe, kind of presses it into a piece of the stonework, and with the palm of his hand, he kind of takes it and starts slamming it into the sides. I'd like you to go ahead and give me a D10 plus 3, Valak.
D10
plus 3.
Plus 7.
It's 21.
10. So, all right. So, now this is where it gets interesting because I made a table that just kind of hurts me. I need a percentile roll. Go ahead and everybody in the group give me one percentile roll.
Oh boy.
Fuck.
87.
Okay.
45.
a 99.
18.
18. So as you guys are cutting through, you guys find we'll start with the 18. So the 18, you find a small emerald and a small sapphire, both worth 25 gold pieces. For the 45 and 47, go ahead and roll me a d6 on each of those, please. This is to determine which kind of gem you find. Okay, so for Astra's roll, you guys find a... Sorry. You guys find an amethyst gem worth 120 gold pieces. For Flinar, he got a 5. You find another sapphire, this one much larger, worth 160 gold pieces.
160?
Yes. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and Valak hit the payload. So Valak is going to have the last 6 gems.
Did I?
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
did I not have any? No, I didn't. I rolled IRL.
Oh, what'd you roll?
87.
Okay, so I apologize. I thought I went through your roll. So 87 for 13 gems. So it's going to be 3 on you, 3 for Block.
Okay.
Goo, I'd like you to go ahead and roll me 3 d8s, please.
Yeah, where? What? 3, a 4, and a 1.
Okay, so for the 1 gets you a piece of malachite, a very large chunk of malachite. It's about the size. It's about from your forearm, about the full size of your forearm. It is worth 290 gold pieces.
Oof.
For the 3 and 4, you get 2 large rubies, both worth 300 gold pieces each. And then, Valak, I would like you to roll me 3d10s, please.
A 4, 4, and a 9.
All right, so the double 4s get you 2 emeralds, both worth 300 gold. Both worth 500 gold pieces each. And for the 9, as you pull away, you hack out a very large diamond. The diamond is worth. Build suspense.
$499.
499 gold.
1,700 gold pieces.
Hey!
I think I got the mother load.
So, in theory, could we split this diamond up?
You
If
could.
we have a jeweler.
Do any of you have jeweler's kit? Has a jeweler's kit?
No.
By the way,
doesn't
when
matter.
when I say massive diamond, I mean
Block is
massive
holding it
diamond.
with 2 hands.
Milwaukee's
No, here's the thing.
this thing.
Is it specifies that the diamonds are worth that much. They don't have to be exact.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's true, but
you could burn this gigantic diamond if you want to.
No, I mean we can cut it down into like assume it thirds.
Yes, that is correct. But
Yeah.
you would need a jeweler's kit to do so.
We'll pay somebody.
Yes, nobody's touching this besides us.
Yeah, Valak is literally like cradling it, like a baby.
Okay.
I got my baby.
Oh,
Did
have you
everyone
guys? There was a higher gem in there. If
There
you guys hit 100,
I was
Let's-
1 point off.
yeah.
That was
Really?
still really good, Rick. That was
Yeah,
really,
that's really
fucking
good.
good.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right?
And Rick, as you take
All
a
right.
closer look, at it, you actually notice that the diamond itself is actually comprised of other diamonds. It seems that it seems like whatever pressure was what it was in, like as you guys look, you can actually see that there are fractures where
Look,
it should be cut into other diamonds. But it seems whatever pressure that this has been under has just forced it into this giant conglomeration.
This is perfect. I can use these for spells.
Yeah. However, it still requires a jeweler's kit to use. You need a jeweler's kit, or else you automatically fail trying to cut this thing.
I
That's
think we need to put this in a bag of holding somehow.
Easy enough. Like you
Yeah.
kind of have to open it a little bit and just. Whoop.
I put that and the emeralds in it.
Fantastic. Did everyone have their fun finding their gems?
Yes, because now I have components for my spells, Flinar.
Hey, Chris, roll me a percentile.
Oof. 31.
Okay. Good to know. So, what are you guys doing?
Not this again.
We should probably move on.
Yeah, no shit. And how about we do this quietly instead of knocking around the walls?
All right. So from this point on, I need everybody to make me a stealth roll,
Okay.
and I will make stealth rolls for all the Kua'Toa.
That's a lot.
Come on, baby.
Oh,
come
Kua'Toa,
on.
why?
Oh no.
Dummy.
Oh God! I rolled a natural 1 and a 5 for 2 of the Kua'Toa.
Fuck.
That's just not quiet today.
14?
And
14's decent.
Same as Valak. 14.
all right. All right. So, for the next 30 minutes, as you all press on, it's difficult. a lot of the rock here is incredibly uneven and makes it even more difficult to traverse. As for most of you, your feet just can't find proper purchase and are just constantly sliding off, creating a very audible sound as your boots just scrape against the rock. Luckily, that was a majority success because the other Kua'Toa rolled really well. I need, for the next 30 minutes, I would like another stealth check.
Natural 20?
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
Somehow Vlach just went invisible to the party.
All right. Okay, so, Chris, what was your total?
An 8.
So the natural 20 and the natural 1 cancel. Okay. Luckily, I rolled really bad for the perception. So for the next 30 minutes, you all press on. And it's even worse here. There's an overgrowing of where this river seems to have been predominant. There is an overgrowth of moss that is just causing you to slip and slide, fall, slam against rocks, slam against walls. It is making traversing this area horrible, except for Vlach, who, being more accustomed to the slippery and more smooth rocks of the mountains, is finding it very easy to traverse.
This reminds me of when I used to go fishing.
Shut up! All right, for the next half hour, I would like another stealth check, please.
Come on, baby. I need another pair of shoes.
Another natural 20.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, what the fuck is this shit?
Okay, I this is 16.
10.
Wow. All right, the Kua'Toa rolled really well this time around. So, this time, kind of, for most of you following Vlach's lead, you managed to kind of start gently papping your way across the area, which as you come here, you notice that there are more of these burrows, more of these tunnels that go in, much smaller, however. And you notice that the burrowing has caused chips of the rocky surface and even particles of the rock to kind of slick the ground here, or make it rather difficult, as for some of you, as you step, there is an audible crunch to your steps as you make your way through. However, it is again a majority success. So you guys press on. I need one more stealth check for this last half hour.
Can I also just take a moment to look at Bosco?
Yeah, sure.
Like, make sure he's okay.
That's all right for
Bosco just kind of seems to be. He seems uncomfortable by the surroundings, but being held by you, he seems rather calm.
Mm-hmm.
17.
21.
All right. So, okay. So you all press on for this last half. So for this last half hour, you all press on. Eventually, the ravine gives way to a wide opening, where as your feet start to make contact with the ground, there is this with each step as you enter into the Waste Corpse Marsh. The Kua'Toa kind of hold hands up as you begin to enter, signaling all of you to stop for a moment as they begin listening. They nod and begin making their way deeper into the marsh.
I want to try and listen in with them. Seems like
Make a
there's
perception
something
roll.
important there.
Make a perception roll.
Yeah, same.
Perception roll.
Hey.
So listening. So as you all listen, there is this errant chatter that seems to just be the ambience that this marshland gives. Although, as opposed to the marshlands you are used to on the surface, this one does not have the numerous bowing trees or expanse that you would expect. A lot of the terrain here appears to be rock that has toppled over or ground that has just kind of given way to whatever liquid has seeped onto it and has just left these very slick very, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going off script here. That's why I'm losing my words. Very, for lack of a better word, gloopy puddles that you have to make your way through. However, as your feet impact, immediately what becomes clear to you is it's difficult to move through here. But thanks to Flinar, he is kind of able to direct you a bit with the different patches of ground that you are able to traverse a bit more solidly. You also notice that even though this is claimed to be connected to the lake, the water that is here, or at least the liquid substance that is here, does not seem to be eating away at your boots or equipment as you make your way through. The Kua'Toa, barefoot as they are, seem to be more than able to traverse without problem. Once again, just the chatter seems a bit uncomfortable to most of you. It is just this cacophony of voices, from what you can tell. That's this. That just constantly makes its presence known throughout the marshland as you make your way through. The Kua'Toa take a few moments as they're kind of glancing around and begin directing you to at least where they claim to have seen this part of this item. I'd like anybody who's proficient to make a survival roll.
Anyone
Who's proficient.
Anyone!
25.
Same as Flinar. Hey.
Flinar.
Yeah.
So, as you push on through, a lot of you, those of you who are proficient, I think everybody succeeded the DC, except Locke. You begin pushing your way through, and immediately what becomes apparent to you is the large sloughs of what appear to be disturbed slime and gloop here in the marshlands. These very large divots that seem to kind of just drag itself around the ground and then disappear underneath the waters.
Oh, that's not good. Bow out.
As you begin pushing your way through, you walk on for another 30 minutes, still just this constant chattering and gibbering that seems to permeate into your minds. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, the thing that's I couldn't get that shit out. This is gonna suck.
12.
15.
Oh, hey.
Oh, come on!
So, what'd you roll, Chris?
12.
Well, so Aster and Flinar, you carefully move your way through this one, kind of managing to drone out the gibbering. The rest of you, however, the gibbering begins talking in your mind. Just this cacophony that invades your ears as you walk through. It's very disconcerting. You start to kind of shake a bit as you start looking over your shoulders, almost as if things are watching you in the swamp. Or as things are watching you here in the marsh. This overwhelming sense of dread begins to fill your hearts. Everybody who has failed the DC has disadvantage on perception checks made in the marsh. And you are constantly under a unique frighten effect, not under the frighten effect. You are under a unique frighten effect. Any combat within the next 24 hours that occurs within the swamp, your first 2 attack rolls on each round of combat are made with disadvantage.
There's 2 attacks?
Oh, sorry, no, wrong rules. Your first attack roll on each round of combat are at disadvantage. That includes spell attacks.
Oh my tits.
As long as I don't roll a 1.
Yes. It's nothing too bad, but I felt it'd be enough of a hindrance.
For me, no. Esrayles, yes.
And Aster too.
Wait, I passed.
Yeah.
Oh no, Aster
Aster
passed.
Flinar, baby.
Balak.
The only one who's really hurting a huge amount from this is Israel.
Hi.
Hi.
Don't cast. Don't do damage.
Nah, we're still kind of fucked. Valak has his extra attack, not necessarily gonna be effective, and we've already lost 1 blow out of Punchy. So
I mean,
shit,
you can just
shit
reckless.
can hit the fan, man.
I mean,
So
you can reckless
push
to cancel
on.
the first one.
You push on for quite a while longer, as you eventually come to what appears to be the very edge of the marsh. And you can see that the actual lake itself, Lake Waste Corpse, is actually spilling a bit into the marsh from this area. However, it's just the very edge of it. And it does not seem like the acidic nature of the lake is feeding into the marsh too heavily. As you arrive, Kua'Toa Matuku says,
This is where I remember seeing it last time I was here. There was a figure here last time.
Figure.
They seem... Yes, tall, lithe. They seem to be using it around the lake here.
I'm sorry, using it?
What did they look like?
They wore cloak. I could not see their face.
Black.
he shakes his head.
Then what?
As you guys are all standing at the edge, you hear a slight whining that seems to come from the lake itself. This... Before you begin watching several corpses begin stretching their hands and grabbing onto the side of the lake and start pulling themselves from it. Most of their bodies have been completely eaten away by this acid. However, they begin slowly pulling their way out. And that's where we're going to leave off for tonight.
Zombonis. God.
Zamboni Tromboni.
I don't want to do so much undead in my campaign. Yes.
Oh, shut up.
Fuck undead. I hate undead.
No, we'll go
I
ahead
hate
and-
undead. I hate the Underdark. They're both here at the same time.
We'll go ahead and pick this up. We're going to go ahead and pick this up next week, guys. I hope you had fun tonight.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Yay!
Yeah,
My favorite character, Gloop Glop.
I'm sorry, but clearly the best character was.
We'll pick this up next week with the combat. With the favorite few of the Kua'Toa against whatever these creatures are. And until then, good night, everyone.
Good.
And we hope you enjoyed tonight's episode.
Everybody.